The Galactic Council warned them about humans. They ignored it and paid the price. Prologue. The warning. The Galactic Council was old, ancient even. It had seen the rise and fall of countless civilizations across the Milky Way. It understood the patterns of history, the ebb and flow of empires. And it had learned to recognize true dangers when they appeared. Humanity was one such danger. Unlike other species that expanded methodically, humanity's rise was chaotic, unpredictable. Their technology advanced in bursts, fueled by competition, necessity, and sheer stubbornness. Their history was littered with wars, but they never fought in the same way twice. They adapted, evolved, and most terrifyingly, they refused to accept defeat. The Galactic Council, in its wisdom, had issued a warning. Do not provoke humanity. Do not attack their colonies. Do not mistake their willingness for diplomacy as weakness. For once they are at war, they do not stop until they have utterly broken their enemy. Most listened. The Zyreen Empire did not. Act 1. The Zyreen's arrogance. The Zyreen were a warrior race, their empire built upon conquest. They had fought and subjugated over a dozen species, incorporating the strongest into their war machine while enslaving the weak. Their fleets were powerful, their technology advanced, their warriors genetically enhanced for combat. When they first encountered humanity, they scoffed at the warnings. They saw a species that had only just begun to expand beyond its home system. To the Zyreen, humanity was nothing more than an upstart species, a minor annoyance that needed to be put in its place. Despite protests from the Galactic Council, the Zyreen High Command decided to strike first. They launched an invasion of a human colony in the Epsilon Eridani system, expecting an easy victory. Their strategy was simple, a swift, overwhelming assault, designed to break human resistance before it could begin. They underestimated just how fast humans could adapt. Act 2. The invasion begins. The Zyreen warships arrived in the system, expecting to face a lightly defended colony. What they found instead was a planet already in full war mode. Humans had detected their approach and, in a matter of days, turned their colony into a fortress. Orbital defenses, planetary shields, and anti-aircraft weapons lit up the sky, taking down Zyreen dropships before they could land. Civilian engineers had repurposed mining drones into makeshift combat units. Even the planet's civilian population had armed themselves, ready to fight. The Zyreen pressed forward, expecting the battle to end quickly. But something strange happened. The longer the war dragged on, the harder the humans fought. Instead of retreating, they adapted. Their soldiers studied Zyreen tactics and countered them with ruthless efficiency. The Zyreen expected humans to fight by conventional rules. Instead, humans fought like demons. They ambushed patrols, hacked enemy systems, and booby-trapped entire cities. When Zyreen commanders ordered mass executions of human civilians to break morale, it only fueled their enemies' hatred. Act 3. Humanity strikes back. The Zyreen's initial invasion turned into a war of attrition. A war they were unprepared for. Humanity, meanwhile, had already shifted to full wartime production. Factories across their star systems churned out weapons, ships, and AI-assisted combat units. Cyberwarfare divisions shut down Zyreen communications, turning their own warships against them. And then the counterattack began. Human fleets, equipped with adaptive AI, ambushed Zyreen supply lines. Sleeper agents within Zyreen ranks sabotaged their defenses. Human Black Ops teams infiltrated the Zyreen homeworld, assassinating key leaders and causing internal chaos. The Galactic Council watched in silent horror as the war escalated beyond anything they had ever seen. Act 4. The Zyreen's desperation. With their fleets in shambles and their homeworld now under siege, the Zyreen did the unthinkable. They begged the Galactic Council for intervention. The Council's response was simple. We warned you. Desperate, the Zyreen launched a final, all-or-nothing counteroffensive. They deployed their most advanced warships, their deadliest warriors. But it was too late. Humanity had already adapted. The Zyreen fleet was torn apart in space. On the ground, human troops pushed into their capital city. And as the last Zyreen stronghold fell, Their emperor was dragged before the human commanders. Epilogue, the final lesson. The war ended, but humanity did not celebrate. There was no joy in victory, only the grim reality of what they had become. The Zyreen, once feared across the galaxy, were no more. Their empire was shattered, their homeworld occupied. As the Galactic Council reconvened, one truth was undeniable: humanity was not just another empire. They were something else entirely, something terrifying. And from that moment on, the Council no longer issued warnings about humanity. They simply hoped no one else would be foolish enough to make the same mistake. Closing line. The Zyreen thought they were the strongest. They thought humanity was weak. But they learned the truth the hard way. Humanity doesn't lose wars. They simply decide when to stop fighting.